Hello, hello, hello. My name is Audrey Hamilton. I am the Entrepreneurial Assistant. I'm a virtual assistant, inspiration coach, and a social media manager. Tonight we have Krissy Anderson with us. Krissy is a travel agent, and she's going to be sharing a bit about what she does in her business, how she got started, and really everything about it. And then we're also going to be talking about how to get out into your community. So, Krissy, you want to kind of start us off with telling us a little bit about yourself?
Yes. Hi, I'm Krissy. I live in Carpenter, Illinois. I originally used to live in North Carolina where my dad was in the military. So we moved to Carbondale when I was 3 years old. And I've been I go to school here. I grew up here. So I pretty much enjoy living in Carbondale. Met a lot of new people, made friends. So I'm kind of glad we left.
Very cool. Very cool. Is there anything like you're specifically interested in? Like, what are some random, like other like little things like what's your favorite kind of foods? What's something that a lot of people couldn't personally get, like understand with you?
I love to make hot wings and I love to make egg rolls.
Egg rolls.
Yes,
I like that.
It's a family tradition to actually make egg rolls on New Year's. Egg rolls and homemade rice. So I love to cook and I make homemade egg rolls and fried rice every New Year's Eve. It takes me a full day to prep because there's a lot of cutting up stuff and vegetables to put inside the egg rolls. We want to get it just right so they won't break when you fry them in the wok.
Nice. That sounds good. I know where I'm going for New Year's Eve. New Year's. I love food and stuff. So do you want to tell us a little bit about your business?
Yes. I am in the travel industry. My business is Lifestyle Oasis. And in my business, being a travel agent and booking travel is two different things. First part is being a travel agent. People can come to you to help you book their travel to anywhere in the world. We're in over 70 countries. And say they want to book travel with you, they need help with book travel, and you show them how to book travel, walk them through it. If they can also self-book. They can either self-book or contact me to help them walk them through it, their travel. And recently, we've added RVs to the travel. That's something that we never had before. Just added. And we have vacation homes because some people do not like staying in hotels. So what we did was add vacation them up more family friendly, but they have to leave it where they left it. They have to leave it clean because the owners of the home.
Mm-hmm.
We do it that way. And if you want to join my business, I show them how they can earn money in the travel. We have Empower Me training that shows them how to work the business. We give them the mobile app. Mobile app it shows them videos for their prospect and they can watch those that way. And we also have live Zooms on Tuesdays and now on Saturdays. They can watch presentations. And we do have in-person meetings at every city they want to go to. If they feel comfortable with going to in-person meetings, always going on, we send them there. If not, we send them to the Zoom. So like hybrid, go either in person or they can do it on the Zoom and get their questions answered. And that's pretty much how my business works, basically.
That's really cool. So, so you say you teach people how to book calls and stuff like that, book flights and things.
Yes.
If you do that yourself too, what's the difference between that and booking the flights themselves? Because hiring you to book the flights and stuff, and then having themselves do it? Is there a difference in prices
Yeah.
or anything?
That's a good question. When they book travel with me, I to book travel with me, I tell them to always use travel insurance. And if
Okay.
they don't, because say it's a horrible story to happen to this lady. She booked travel with my friend who's in my business. She told her to please take the travel insurance because she was going to the Bahamas, right?
Mhm.
Okay. To the Bahamas. She did not take the travel insurance. So he made her sign a waiver saying that she refused it. And she ended up getting COVID. So what happened? She ended up being quarantined an extra 10 days, money coming out of her pocket because most countries do not accept the US medical card or medical insurance. So she was paying for it
Mm,
to stay at a resort, being quarantined in the Bahamas, as well as paying for her medical care out of her pocket, which was over
oof.
$1,000. Had
Oof.
traveler's insurance, which was only $30, she would have to take out of her pocket. Which means travelers covered all of that.
Yeah.
And she didn't do it, so she had to learn the hard way. Because if they don't want to take travel insurance, that's their right. We always tell them, always use travel insurance whether you're in the United States or the overseas.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't, I stress that, isn't enough. Like, you want to because if it happens, you want to pay money out of your pocket. And
Yeah.
that her, and I felt bad.
Yeah, that does not sound nice. That does not sound nice at all. So definitely get the traveler insurance. So what else? So you mentioned to me before too, you also help like book hotels and different rides and stuff like that. Um, so is that what you do or
Yes.
okay.
What I do is they tell me what hotel they want to stay at. And if they don't want to self book, I go on the website and look for the hotel prices and give them the best one that they want, like for the best price. It varies. It depends on what month it is. That's what varies too on flights. Because some flights are higher in some months in peak season, and some are lower in the down season. So
Yeah.
I figure all of that. Because say a flight might be like 500 one month and then up for next month. So it varies when they want to book flights.
Yeah. Okay, very cool. So how long have you been doing this?
I have been in the business since 2009. And the
Whoa.
reason why I joined is because my older cousin told me about the company that was in travel, the company coming out, and I want to join with her. I said, okay. So I joined with her, and I fell in love with travel.
Mhm.
And then I just felt like I wanted to help other people do the same. I love to help others, help them get what they want. If they want to be a customer with me or a business partner, I pretty much give them what they want.
Yeah,
And that is my
exactly.
passion, is helping others. My biggest is a service business. We serve anyone who want to serve them and whatever they want to serve, do for them. Like they need help with booking flights, we'll walk them through that. Or they want a hotel room for like a 3-night getaway. We serve them in that way. We love serving others. And we have a thing called Surge Cares, Women's Cares, that we help organizations like a little, like last time we gave away a vacation to a family that was in need to Disney
Mhm.
World. So we do stuff like
Nice.
that. Yeah.
That's really cool. That's really, really cool. So your stuff does a bunch of charity stuff. It sounds like too. Um, so this isn't quite one something. This is more of a personal question, but how many vacations have you been on since you've been in this on this business? You said you like traveling.
Uh-huh.
So how
I
many?
go everywhere. I got travel bug. I can't help myself. I'm, I have been to San Diego. I spent 9 days at the Wyndham Hotel Resort. I did not want to leave. I said, nope, I'm staying here. I'm coming back. I didn't want to leave. I had a great time. I went to the place where the man kissed the sailor, kissed the woman. That statue there on Navy
Okay.
Pier. That was in Times Square. It's a statue there in San Diego of the sailor kissing the lady, the nurse. And I was to that place and I did the Hornblower cruise. I've never been on a ship before, so I did it. And it was live band, live music. It was fellowship. People were going live on their Facebook pages. And it was just fun. That's why I didn't want to leave. After 9 days, it was pure fun. That's when I fell in love with it, just traveling. I've been there. I have been to Wyoming. We drove to Salt Lake City, Utah for the reunion. Went to drive it. And Salt Lake City is beautiful. Never been there. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I've been there before. I am not much for plain deserts.
It's beautiful. They actually have a really cool Walmart. Their Walmart has escalators on every
Whoa.
floor. I've never seen
Ooh,
at a
that's
Walmart
really
before.
cool.
They
Yeah,
actually there's a college that's built inside of a mountain.
that's really cool.
I'm like, wow, that was cool. And I had my family, people I never met before. We stayed at my cousin's hotel, the Red Roof Hotel. He is a chef there. So every morning he would cook for us breakfast and lunch, or whatever we wanted for him. He could cook for us. We had a great time in Utah. My family, I'd never been there for the first time. And the family to go to the Utah Jazz Basketball Center. Now, I'm not a Utah fan myself, but I am a Warrior fan. That's me.
Yeah, that's
I
really
love the
cool.
Warriors. But they wanted to go see that, so we took them to go see that. I also been to Disney World. They have, my first time was back in 1994. I was a freshman in high school, and we've been there. So we drove to Florida, of course, and we got there. The next day, we went to the park, and we went to the White Sand Beach. I never forget this. My friend was messing with this bird, crane bird, kept messing with it. Told me to stop with this bird. This bird chased this kid all around the White Sand Beach. That was hilarious. I will never forget that. We told him to stop and leave the bird alone. And then the next day he went swimming and he chipped his tooth in the pool doing a headstand.
Oh, that poor
Like,
boy. I'm so sorry.
like,
That poor
why?
boy.
Just why?
That's hilarious. But I'm just like, oh my word, that poor boy.
I've been to Atlanta, Georgia, and I've been to Chicago for spring break. We
Cool.
toured the city with my friend, and we toured Michael Jordan's restaurants. And I've been there. And I've also been to Texas. I've been there
Nice.
too. And I recently just got back in August from Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. I spent
Nice.
5 days there at a resort that has a lot of like up to 9 restaurants. And Puerto Vallarta, let me tell you, is beautiful. It's beautiful. They at that hotel resort, they have a French restaurant. It's very good. I don't eat escargot, so I just had steak and lobster.
Cool.
That was good in white sauce.
Steak and lobster is really good, especially the steak.
Yeah, and then they have like a restaurant, it's all inclusive too.
Cool.
Have a taco restaurant. It's like a buffet. You have tacos.
Nice.
Yeah, all in one. It's fun. They have Zumba aerobics in the water, like exercise. They have
That sounds fun.
City, Riata. Riata was beautiful. I would definitely see myself going back there.
Nice.
That's a beautiful country. It's my
Very
first
cool.
actually leaving the country. And next year, as a membership's plan, I'm planning to go to Montego Bay, Jamaica in March. And that's celebrating the company's anniversary. And then I also want to go to, on my list to go to is Italy and London.
Nice. London, mine is, I want to go to Ireland and Scotland. Oh my god. I know it's kind of weird, but those are my two areas. I would also not mind going to Norway either. So we do have a question from someone in the comments. When you help people plan a flight or destination, can you help come up with an itinerary?
Yes. Yes, I can.
Okay. For someone who doesn't know anything about flights, what is an itinerary? Okay, I know nothing about flights. I have been on one flight. So I'm originally from Oregon and I moved here to North Carolina about 6 years ago, roughly. And so we drove all throughout the United States. We didn't go through all 50 states, but we drove across the United States to get here. So the only time I've done a flight though was when my grandma died. We flew back to Oregon for her funeral. But other than that, I didn't do any bookings or nothing. My mom and my aunts handled all of that. So what is an itinerary? Krissy?
I'm here.
Okay, what's an itinerary?
It's a planned route or journey.
Okay. Okay, very cool. Sorry, I went on a huge spill with that, and then it was like you didn't hear much of it or something. So I was just making sure you were able to still hear or something.
Yes.
So awesome. Okay, so plan route or destination. Very cool. So what is your impossible goal for your business?
My impossible goal. Think about that for a minute.
Ponder it.
Okay, to see myself with a large field team by the end of 2023. And a lot of
I'm sorry, say that again.
working with a large team, like having people, helping a lot of people.
Okay. Very cool.
A lot of clients coming to me, like thousands of clients coming to me wanting to book travel by the end of next year.
Very cool. Yeah, that sounds very good. So now we'll go on to the community part of this. So you go, from what I've heard from that you do is you go out into your community a whole lot to engage with people and stuff. So you want to share a little bit about how you can kind of get out there and what you kind of do with that?
Yes. One day I was doing a community group search in my area, and I happened to come up with that. I found the Black Chamber of Commerce. I joined the Black Chamber of Commerce. I did my first event with them in February of this year at the Black Business Expo. My boss came and helped me with support. So right there at the expo, I put her on a live webinar showing her my company how we do travel. She was there. And the Black Chambers helps each business community who are of color get business. And what they do is they go to city council meetings, board meetings, to get each Black person represented with business exposure. And they actually have business showers for each member. You got to be with them for 6 months to get a business shower.
Okay.
And being in the community is way out of my comfort zone. So I'm extremely shy. I'm even camera shy.
You got this. You're doing amazing. You're
And,
acting like a complete natural right now.
So I community groups. I joined that September conference. That was my first group. Then I wanted to improve my speaking, so I joined Toastmasters of October of last year, and now I am the secretary of the Toastmasters.
Nice.
And the Toastmasters help you speak, and they're one of my biggest supporters in my business.
So explain to us a little bit more about Toastmasters. So you said it helps you speak better. So what exactly do they do?
They break you from using
They break us. Sorry.
They break you from using ahs and ums in your speeches. So you get in front of them, call them when you do your pathways, one of your pathway levels. They break you from using ahs, so, and those filler words. They want you to use other words besides ahs, so in your speeches. They break you of doing that, literally.
Yeah.
Because each meeting that we do, we meet every Thursday at the college. And if you give a speech, you have an ah counter and a grammarian. And at the end of the speech, if you use the words ah, the ums, and the grammarian hears that, they let you know to use it too many times. Because you not do that. That's one of their pet peeves, saying ahs and ums in your speeches.
Well, I think I'm currently going to really need this because I know in my videos
they coach you and become a professional speaker without using ahs and ums, and they teach you how to work the floor when you use your speech. Like, don't stay in one spot, like move around. Because like work in the room, and they want you to involve the audience in your speech. They teach you how to use your audience in your speech by asking questions and do stuff in your speech. Like, we had a Halloween party on the 27th of October, and one of our past presidents gave a speech, but she asked the audience to help her do something in her speech, and that's part of Toastmasters, is including the audience in your speech to engage in your audience.
Ooh,
and
I like that.
To become a professional speaker, they teach how to do that. And we have a thing called Pathways in the Toast International group. You watch your videos, and the videos show you how to stop using ahs and ums in your speech. And it teaches you that skill.
Okay. So if I might ask, where do you see that going in your business?
When I do presentations, I don't want to say ahs, so the filler words.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I did it.
Okay. Very cool. I like that. That's really, really cool. And make sure to send me the links for those. I know you invited me to one time, but I wasn't able to join in that day.
That's the that I sent you. That's the same link we use every Thursday, different change.
Okay, and what time is it again?
It starts it's from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Central Time.
Okay.
And I can
so it'll be 8 or 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Uh-huh.
And 7, okay, 4. So for Pacific Standard Time. Okay, we got this.
We have in our Toastmasters, like last week, a lady, she was from Brazil, and she was on our Toastmasters. She would be part of our Toastmasters. Oh, she can be in our group. She gets watch a hybrid on her computer. We're in like we're in a lot of, I think, over 80 countries.
Nice.
We're
That's really cool.
And they train you for each leadership role. Like, say, secretary, I would go to the training for a secretary with the Toastmasters, and I get trained by another Toastmasters group for about role as secretary. And my role, we have meetings for our leadership meetings. I take the meeting minutes and do that every time. Yeah.
Nice. I like it. I'll have to join in on that. So what else do you do in your community? So there's Black Chamber of Commerce. You do other events I've seen and stuff. What do you look for in these events?
I look for the events to connect with the right people. And also I'm looking to help the ones that want me to help them by serving them in whatever that they need.
Mm-hmm. So how do you pick these events though? Because like you can go to farmers markets, you can go to other like little like free events, and they'll like let you set up and stuff. Is there any specific thing? Also, I sold jewelry beforehand, and what I had to be careful of was these fake events where they are just trying to get a kind of fee out of you, but no, they're not promoting it, they're not doing anything for it. And then once you get there, it's actually non-existent too. So what do you look for to kind of help like avoid those kinds and stuff?
I have to avoid that. I only do the events that I get sent from my chamber of commerce group, because they know they send me actually real events. Because they go onto the news station and they advertise our events. So they pretty much get their events from the community, because some of them are NAACP members, and they get this from being at city council groups and going to those. And they know people that know people. They know a lot of people. They have a lot of connections in my city. And they send us events, like say a school's doing an event. Okay, so I signed up to do a school holiday bazaar for next month at a surprise at a private school. But I only do events through that, or I look on Eventbrite.
Okay. Yeah, Eventbrite, I've heard of that one. That's a good website too. But basically going through your Chamber of Commerce,
yeah,
is really helpful too.
Oh, I also done Eric Warray events. I attend in December. He does workshops, GoPro. I've been doing that for, I would say, about a year now with him.
Cool.
And if you sign up for you can do it in person or hybrid. But he's been doing them on Zoom.
Okay, very cool.
And they go over speakers like Lisa Nichols. But I heard her story of how she came into what she does. I was in tears. I never heard that. Ooh, she had a rough. She had it rough, and
no.
To see her come from that to where she is now, that's amazing. Because she was to make that living for her and her family.
Yeah, I love those kinds of stories and stuff. It's always very inspiring when someone is going through a lot of trials, but then they end up rising above those and becoming even better than they even thought was possible. Like at that time, it was just survival mode, but then they rise up above it. Those stories are very inspirational to me.
Yeah. Hers was definitely survivor modes, and I'll
Yeah.
probably the tears hearing that. So I do that. He's encouraging to me, so I do that. And I'm also involved in my church's small business group. I attend church at something I don't know center in Harris, and we have all kind of community groups for anybody. We have a small business group. We have a single adults group, and couples for married couples, people who learn about the Bible. We have called D groups. So I'm involved in a lot of community stuff that's way out of my comfort zone.
Very cool. So where do you find these kinds of resources? What can other people do to kind of do this? I've also heard you are going to be on the news. You've also are being featured in a magazine right now too. So how do you like find these these resources? Also, you have a football or some kind of sports team that you're interviewing too as well. So how do you find all these different resources?
But the college sports thing, I attended a regular Chamber of Commerce meeting, and they brought that up. We had the opportunity to do that. So I went to the meeting, and I chose to do it. And that's really out of my comfort zone. So I did it. And I went to the Carbondale Chamber's website, which is regular Chambers, and they post their events on their website. So I decided to join the meeting and make connections that way. And then what I do for my area, I go to Eventbrite and search events in my area. That's how I do it. So no matter where you live, you can go into your area and search an Eventbrite to events in your area that's happening for you. And you find what you want to do, just go ahead and do it. Because Eventbrite is not going to post those, they'll post any fake events on Eventbrite.
Cool.
So I use that a lot. And how I found the magazine for the magazine I'm in, I joined a Facebook group, and that's how I got a part of that.
Nice.
And actually, next Thursday, she invited me to have my business in their big elite magazine in the UK. And now I'm going to be featured in over 150 countries.
Whoop, whoop. That's awesome.
And so I have to do that. That's about it. I do that with how I do my research to do that. And I also just I read positive motivational books. And I guess staying involved in the community, doing events that way by going online searches for an Eventbrite. Like always use Eventbrite or your local Chamber of Commerce. I think each city has a Chamber of Commerce to have host events. They do business luncheons, and they do networking events at noon. Networking at noon, you're gonna bring your business cards because they allow you to pass your business cards to ones that come to the networking at noon events.
Okay.
You're gonna take those business cards with you to get more exposure.
Yeah, definitely. Business cards. Are you able to bring flyers of any kind too?
Gonna bring anything that exposes your business, whether it be a flyer or a business card, and they allow you some time to tell the group what it is that you do.
That's really cool. That's nice. I have to see what they have in my area for that kind of stuff. And if I can do it during the day with my kids.
We have a small business innovation center here where they work with a coach to help mentor you to grow your business, and they give you the resources on how to connect people. That's how I found out about the being on the news thing.
Okay.
So I'm gonna be doing that. My business gonna be advertised on the news in my area. So I think I'll be there for the small business center, but I don't know if each state has a small business innovation center. I don't know. I know my state has one. An
I
innovation
know
center.
my state has something, they have a resource center,
Okay.
but they don't have coaching on that I know of here. You have to actually go to the college for that. But they do have free business resources where they teach you how to do a few things, like a little bit of marketing, like actually like making the marketing and stuff. But people are messaging me like crazy. So is there anything else you would like to add about what you do or engaging with your community?
Yes. Another part of what I do is, say if someone wants to do my business and say I want to make money and travel, I sign them up, and I give them the proper training, which is the Empower Me training, and shows them how to book flights. And in our host agency, so tell them how to be a travel expert, so I give them all the trainings they need in their back office, how they do that, and make sure they get that done. And then, like, say if they want to get extra money, I show them they're do this kind of training to teach you how to get to those levels. Because other people, like, say they want to book for a church, okay? If you did that before, you would have the vendor present to that church for the Holy Land trip to help guide you through that, and the vendor helps you do that. So that way they can go for free and get the commission.
Mhm.
But if you did that before for a church or organization, you would always have the vendor present for you. That way you have somebody as the backup, and the vendor knows like all the hot spots to travel. So let's say I want to go to like Dubai, okay? In Dubai, they have called dinner in the sky. If you're scared of heights, don't do it, because you're in the air, literally in the air, eating in the sky, literally on a crane, and the table and servers on this little table, and your head. Dubai has that. They also have to ride on a camel.
Nice.
Camel rides. I've actually done a camel when I've been to Beth Otho, Illinois, back in 2019. I hand fed a camel. That felt weird. And I hand fed a goat at Christmas Village. And that's always fun to do that. But you always would have the percent for you if you did that before to help you out.
That's really cool. That's cool. I like the camels. I remember it brought me up a memory I forgot was about a Christmas event I went to. They actually had a little camel there. They actually had a real life camel, and we got to feed it. I think my mom got spat on.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was funny though. It was good. Is there anything else you would like to add?
I would like to say is for those who want resources, always stay in, plugged into your event right in your area. Any business groups or any community groups are a big supporter. They help you go like do it alone.
Yeah.
That's why community groups, yeah.
Yeah, and that's really important for us too as entrepreneurs, because a lot of people don't quite understand us. It feels like anyone who works jobs and stuff like that, they can kind of get an idea, but they don't really know everything that's going on or how to help you out. And so being in those business groups too and stuff in your community is really helpful too, makes you not feel alone. So yeah. Anything else?
No, that was it.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on. So you guys can message Krissy here on Facebook, or you guys can go follow her at Lifestyle Oasis on Instagram. The link is up in the comments and for Facebook, and then on YouTube, it'll be down in the description. So make sure you reach out to Krissy. Krissy, thank you so much for coming on and sharing about your business.
You're welcome.
All right, you have a good evening.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.